Hello, my name is Joel Cruz, and this is my individual project for ethical hacking at Florida International University. My professor is Alexander Pons, and I'm going to be talking about DOS, denial of service. What is a DOS? A DOS is a strategy designed to keep bad traffic from accessing the targets of the computer. Basically, trying to, for example, if I am a target and I want to access the internet, the hacker will be denying my access to the internet. DOS attack works by denying access to legitimate network traffic, breaking and damaging network connection between computers, like I said, where the hacker does not let me access the internet. Targets and effects. The main targets of a DOS attack are web servers, application servers, and communication link. DOS attacks can disable a network, destroy data, and lead to significant financial losses. Loss of service would include email, internet, and accessing files. Like I said, internet. Like for example, if you want to go to Facebook.com or ESPN or any other one of your favorite sites, you won't be able to because the hacker is sending so many packets through your network that your network is trying to access those packets and trying to access yours at the same time, but that did not. It's spending so much time trying to access the packets that it won't have time to access yours, trying to get into the internet. So it will not let you access Facebook or your emails or ESPN or any websites that you like to visit. It also would cause the loss of accessing files. The type of DOS attacks. There are a few types of DOS attacks. Buffer overflow attacks, preventable and non-preventable DOS attacks, and isolated and distributed attacks. A buffer overflow attack happens when the input applied to a variable is larger than the memory allotted. So basically, like if a programmer writes a program where, for example, a user puts in a password, like a 10-character password, and the programmer only allowed a 9-character password, it won't let you. It will basically cause an overflow because the programmer only put a 9-character password, only put 9 characters, and the user tried to put 10. There are two types of buffer overflow attacks: stack overflow and heap-based attacks. A buffer overflow attack. In a stack-based buffer overrun, the program is being exploited using memory object known as a stack to store user input. The stack is empty until the program requires user input. At that point, the program writes a return memory address to the stack, and then the user input is placed on top of it. So when the user stack is being processed, the user inputs get sent the return address where it's specified in the program. The one writing the code must know to reserve specific amount of space for the stack. Like I said, it's all about the person who's writing the code. Like I told you about the whole password, where if the programmer sets a password to only 9 characters and the user writes in a 10-character password, it's going to create a buffer overflow. Like I said, if the input is longer than expected, that will create a stack overflow. A heap overflow happens when a chunk of memory is allocated to a heap and data is written to this memory without any bound checking being done on the data. Two main ways of a heap overflow attack is used to overwrite data stored in a heap. This can be used to change things like CD keys stored in variables to a value that you know that you can be granted access. To overwrite a pointer. This could be used to change things like a pointer that points to some code that is executed and change it to a point to a malicious code from the attacker. Now next is a preventable and a non-preventable attack. A preventable DOS attack may occur when the system administration has designed a network or application level system to perform a variety without taking into consideration the limitation of that system. For example, one example of a preventable DOS attack is an administrator who designs a VoIP system with 120 phones and projects the capacity based on a standard expected usage. So, for example, like the example stated, it means like if a system administrator only designs only a system, I mean, a VoIP system with 120 phones for expected usage, for standard expected usage, and if, for example, they have a conference call with over 100 to 130, 140, that's going to cause an issue. It's going to cause a service disruption. Now, a non-preventable DOS attack is one of which the system administration could not have been expected or to anticipate or prepare for. For example, an organization's system administration might receive notice that a particular printer is not working in one day. When the administration logs onto the printer server, the person discovers a large quantity of print jobs in the queue from a user who has been on vacation for 5 days. They use up the disk space, which could deny access to others. So basically, a hacker breaks into a user who works at a company and accesses the disk space, and try and basically send so many documents to print at the same time denying other users to use that printer so they can print. An isolated attack. An isolated attack comes from a single source and is easily countered by blocking traffic from that source until the administrator of that domain can fix the problem. This common attack can be blocked by a firewall, which protects a trusted network from the public internet. So basically, in this attack, it's basically to a specific source. So, for example, if I'm the one being attacked, and only just me, I'm the one who's going to suffer the blocking traffic until I can fix the problem. So all the packets that the hacker is trying to send at me at the same time, it's going to block me from doing regular related activities in the internet, like checking emails, accessing files, going to the internet, buying things, stuff like that. And it can be blocked if this attack can be blocked by a firewall, which will protect the trusted network from the public internet. So nowadays, all laptops, you buy a laptop in certain locations, they all come already with firewalls built in, to protect you from the network, from the public internet. Okay, a distributed attack. This is called a DDoS attack. A distributed denial of service attack, multiple compromised systems, which are often infected with a Trojan. So basically, a distributed attack it's not the same as DOS, or DOS is a particular network. This one is basically distributed through within the network. Like if we have a network of a particular network with 4 or 5 computers, then the hacker would send so many packets through those computers, denying them access to the internet and emails and just accessing the files and stuff like that. Instead of a DOS, where DOS is one particular target, and distributed is multiple. And so I was saying here, DOS uses multiple computers and internet connection to flood the target resources. They are usually distributed via botnet. Basically, they're being distributed by botnet, like they're like zombies. Botnet, where they just send traffic. They send packets and traffic through other computers, simultaneously. It's not a person doing it. The hacker designs the botnet to do what it wants it to do, and it sends the packets through to the clients and network. known of DOS attack: TCP, SYN, Smurf, and Fraggle. Prevention from DOS and a DOS, distributed DOS. A traditional firewall can stop specific IP addresses using NAT. This helps prevent DOS attack by refusing network traffic from specific TCP ports, limiting the network traffic from coming from specific network addresses, and scanning the network traffic for virus. So basically what that states, a firewall can scan that particular IP address for any malware or any malicious software, and if the firewall sees some sort of malicious code or software in that website, or it's not to be trusted, it's gonna block it, and it's gonna let you know. It's gonna let you know first. It's gonna tell you, oh, this site can be trusted. Do you want to continue or deny? Most cases, people will deny, so the computers don't get infected with viruses or Trojans. A firewall security provides a firewall service including high-speed access control list that blocks particular content, requests through the use of an IP address, a TCP port, a URL, or a file type. Again, like if you're downloading, like I stated before, if you're downloading or trying to access a site and the firewall senses something bad in that IP address or file, it's going to let you know. It's going to tell you, oh, do you want to keep this file? Do you want to go into this website? You know, stuff like that. I mean, if you're downloading a file off some site you don't know of, which we don't know if it's to be trusted or not, the firewall's going to let you know. It's going to tell you to keep file or dismiss. Now, NAT, it hides the IP addresses from all devices, including the web servers, and cache position behind the web switch. This reduces a direct attack against servers that uses explicit IP addresses. So basically, NAT hides IP addresses from all devices, basically to protect yourself from viruses and stuff like that. NAT will reduce a direct attack against servers with unknown IP addresses. Load balancing offers security for a server system by providing firewall loading balancing, IDS intrusion detected system, implementing router filters or ingress filtering, constant updating computers with latest most relevant security patches, monitoring the network to identify attacks. Basically, you can do a full monitor check to your network using tools. You can go out in the market and buy antiviruses, firewalls and stuff like that. You always have to keep constantly updating your laptop or tower, because if you don't, then your computer won't be up to date with certain patches and updates that can help prevent you from obtaining viruses. Some sort of software that you can use to protect yourself. Malwarebytes. You can use Norton. You can use the Windows firewall. Stuff like that. Those stuff will protect you from attacks like that. So this will conclude my individual project. Again, my name is Joel Cruz. I attend Florida International University. My professor is Alexander Pons. This course is called Ethical Hacking and Countermeasures. I hope you guys liked this video. Hopefully it was somewhat informative. One more thing. This is the reference that I used. This is the first reference is the textbook used in that course. The second, third, and fourth reference were web sources on heap overflows, buffer overflow attacks, heap-based attacks, and stuff like that. Again, my name is Joel Cruz. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Thank you.